Hey everybody, welcome to episode 14. I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Andi.
And this is
Everybody in the Conference Room.
That's right. Hey, welcome to another episode. Tonight we're going to break down Season 2, Episode 8, the performance review. We're also going to take a look at an awesome prank that Jim pulls. A classic, in my opinion. I think it's so good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he just stumbles upon it, and it's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then we're also going to head over to that good Dunder Mifflin subreddit and look at some quality content Adam Jones is bringing to the table. You got something good for us tonight, my friend?
I believe so. You will be the judge of that.
Excellent. All right. And hey, as always, we just want to say thank you for listening and supporting the show. Make sure that wherever you get your podcasts, you subscribe and leave us a review. If you leave us a 5-star, we will read it live on the air. We'll get to one of those in just a minute.
We've been getting a lot lately.
Yes,
I love
people,
that.
you are awesome. It's one of the easiest ways to get a shout out on the show.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, you could literally leave us a review and then just write, I'm going to read it. So if you just write something in the body,
But squeeze.
as long as it's a 5-star, I'm going to read it.
Now you got to go back and do that.
As long as it doesn't lose us our clean rating. That's the caveat. All right,
Okay.
and then make sure we'll get to a 5-star because we got one to read tonight. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. Great tangible way to help out. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/anofficepod. Tonight we just...
.com. Just kidding. I don't know why I
think
said
that's
that.
Expedia.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to just
Expedia
jump
is
right
now
in there.
sponsoring us.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, is Expedia even around anymore? But it is.
It's a
it is.
travel company, right? Can you imagine?
Oh my gosh. She's getting so
That would
excited
be
over there.
amazing. Expedia, please sponsor us.
Can you email them this week and ask them if they'll sponsor us?
If they
and
sponsor
just say that you
podcasts?
have a singer that'll say .com.
Let's try it. On
all
3, we're going to
together.
try
Ready?
it just as a show for them,
We're going
okay?
to do
Okay.
Expedia.com.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
a little
Okay.
teaser of what they'd
Wait,
get.
you do the countdown, okay?
Okay. Well,
Wait, what do we do?
Because doesn't it go like...
It's like-
Expedia.
.com. Yeah. Oh, there we go. We just did it.
sounds
It's
great.
not going to get better than that.
No,
so that was good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Because I sounded terrible. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
I gotta sit
gosh.
up straight for this one.
I cannot make it clear enough that we are not receiving any money or support from
Not
Expedia
yet.
for
But
this.
what if we ace this?
This is our trial run.
This is it.
Oh my gosh.
We
Okay.
could be.
You just say Expedia, we'll do .com.
Yeah,
Oh
do
my
that.
God. Okay.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Expedia.
.com.
Oh,
Man, we're really good at good
Yeah.
at singing.
I don't think I got the key right, but
there's a lot of people who really enjoy harmony, but the dissonance that you brought was really good. So
Yeah, we were like trying to intercept
Yeah.
each
It's like a
other.
different. It's like a different feel.
La-la-la.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so make sure you check us out, patreon.com/anofficepod. Tonight we're talking about some office happenings, meaning our office, but we let you in on
Heist.
kind of a heist. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Come on over to
No
Patreon.
way.
If you come in though, loose lips sink ships. So we're
Yeah.
letting you in on the heist
Big
Yeah.
secret.
as our patrons, but then
Snitches get stitches.
that's right. You are
And
implicated
you should see the guns on this guy.
in the heist.
Uh-huh.
Who's
She
going?
just gave the wobbly hand.
And she made that face that was like, eh.
Well, I mean, they didn't have to know that. It's radio.
But why
That's
take a
right.
gamble?
Yeah. Honesty. Speaking of awesome patrons, we want to say thanks to our sponsors for this episode. We're talking about our $20 patrons, our assistants to the regional manager, Saf and Brian Cavazos. Thank you guys so much.
Once again, we're standing.
That's right.
Just believe us.
I'm standing on my hands like a
Ooh,
handstand.
Yeah.
And clapping with his
with
feet.
his butt.
Actually, I wish I could cut that out. And clapping with his butt. Man. That's a mental image that will never, ever leave your mind.
Now, whenever Adam walks into the office, that's all we're going to see.
Oh my God.
Big booty come.
That's awesome. All right, let's get to that. Let's get to that good 5-star review. This was sent in to us by Anthony Marciano. The title is "I Understand Nothing," and
Amen.
the bod. I'm just going to say that every time now.
I want your bod.
Yes. That sounds weird. I'm sorry, Adam. Just the
Should I step out
bod
of the room?
of the review says, "It takes an advanced sense of humor. I don't expect everybody to understand." So.
That's it.
You'll get it.
That's
You'll get it
awesome.
later on. You probably don't understand
Butt
what
claps
that
deserved.
is.
Butt claps.
Butt claps all around to everyone. Awesome. All right. Well, hey, are you guys ready to jump into that
Let's
good
do it.
Yeah, why
episode?
don't you break it down?
Break you off a piece of that. Everybody in the
Okay,
room.
Fancy
Bye.
faced
Oh,
football cream.
I was going to say podcast, but that's okay.
Podcast. Listening.
Podcast
Wait,
show.
one, two, three.
Podcast.
There, we got it that time.
Oh my gosh.
We practiced this at home, folks.
That's so good. All right. Hey, so tonight, Michael needs closure. Jan keeps it professional. Angela loves being judged. And Dwight accidentally takes a day off. This is Performance Review, Season 2, Episode 8 of The Office. All right, so the episode opens, and Dwight is bouncing on a yoga ball at his desk.
Yep.
That reminds me of my pregnancy days. That's what I did all day long. I just bounced.
That's all you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all
I
it
quit
takes.
my job. I stopped parenting. I stopped being a wife.
Yeah.
I just became a bouncer.
You
That's all
quit
it-
your job and you said, I have to bounce
I'm
on
like,
a ball.
listen,
That's all it
I
takes
need
to make a
sit
baby.
here and bounce, and I cannot waste my time making money.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You got that sugar daddy.
Not only is it going to help you make money, apparently, and a baby. Dwight says it strengthens your back. It makes you better in sports, better in sex.
Oh,
mean,
wow. That was
he can't prove that,
hardcore, like,
but
creeper.
You like that voice?
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
let me try mine. Better in sex.
No, that just
That
sounds
was
good.
scary. That was scary.
No, that just sounds like a
And
good radio voice.
I sounded like Robot Andy. Like all of a sudden, I'm no longer alive.
Sex.
Better in sex. Oh, now
Oh
I
my
sound like
gosh.
a southern man.
Oh, man.
The
Well, we just
sorry.
lost all of our southern
Yeah,
men
I just want to
listeners.
apologize to all of our men living in the South who listen to this podcast. We understand. Now, what I found very interesting about this is Adam Jones. One of the first things that I found out about you when I came over to our current office is that you are a man who has a fitness orb. Do you not?
do. I don't have it in the office anymore, but I did for a time.
man. Did somebody try and pop it?
Nope.
Man.
Sadly not.
Do you not bring it in anymore because I kind of made fun of you about it?
No. Now that I have my standing desk,
Yeah.
no more need.
No more need. You just...
He doesn't sit, folks. Actually, I did walk into the office the other day and catch him sitting. I just gotta throw him under the bus there.
Sometimes I sit. That's why it moves. You know,
That's
up
right.
and-
It's
up and
robot. It's a
down.
robot desk.
Robot desk.
That's right. So Jim,
When that desk can make me a coffee, that desk will be my new best friend.
then it's a real, true robot
The
desk.
funny thing is, it
Yeah.
sounds like a paper shredder.
When it's going up and
Yeah.
down?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
It does.
unsettling. So Jim is just not impressed and asks how much the fitness orb costs. About $25. Mm-hmm. It's in that
Worth
moment.
it.
It's in that moment when he realizes, I'm willing to reimburse you for this. And then grabs some scissors and pops it.
Boink.
Poor Dwight.
I just thought, like, couldn't technically Dwight report that? Like,
As
he came at me with
what,
scissors
harassment?
and he missed and it hit the ball.
I mean,
Yeah.
If Dwight was smart, he would take that to the up the chain.
he could even just say, Jim used scissors to like vandalize my property. Like that's pretty
Sure.
hardcore.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah,
And the
yeah.
truth, yeah, the truth works.
But
Crazy.
Dwight's gonna find a better way to get back at him.
Mm.
We'll see what happens with that. So then we see Michael and Oscar coming out of the conference room. It looks like they just wrapped up. So today's performance reviews, we find out.
Yes.
And it looks like they're probably wrapping up Oscar's performance review. And we go to Pam, and she's saying, hey, today is performance reviews. Last time I had a performance review, it started with Michael asking me what were my hopes and dreams. And it ended with him telling me that he could bench press 190 pounds. So I don't
Prove
really
it,
know what to
Michael.
expect.
I don't believe that Michael Scott can bench
No
190
way.
pounds. I'm trying to remember what I used to be able to bench, and it was not that much.
Yeah.
And he's got suns out, guns out, guys.
Do you work out?
Me?
Yeah.
I would go.
I work out.
I try to go to the gym 2 days a week.
Uh-huh.
Like that's...
How hard do you try to do that?
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, he does it. He's pretty consistent.
I do it for the most
I know
part.
because I have to pour my own coffee when he's at the gym.
That's
oh my
true.
gosh. What an
telling ya.
abusive
Yeah,
relationship.
it's those first world problems.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like to do some machines,
What machines?
and then I like to get on that good cardio.
Yeah, I mostly do cardio now.
What is cardio for you? Like jogging?
Literally, I don't do that much. I take my dog for like an hour-long walk. That's what I do.
Beautiful.
But I don't slow walk. You seen these legs?
Oh,
you're one of those speed
Can
walkers?
you imagine
I walk
his like
fast.
arms pumping and his butt like going back and forth?
I
and he's got
legitimately,
those
when I go
little
for a
speed
walk
work?
with my dog, I try to I'm gonna walk fast.
Are you like one of those?
That- oh
Wait,
But I don't
okay.
swing my arms like this.
I don't believe it.
I
I
don't
don't
do
believe it
that.
for a
I
minute.
just walk fast.
Nobody cares about the arm swinging, Adam Jones. When
I
you watch a
walk fast.
speed
It's the
walker,
butt.
yeah, you see the way they do the hips and
Yeah.
the butt. They roll it back
They,
and
like,
forth.
roll
Yeah, I do that.
You do that?
Oh, I love it. Oh,
I mean,
man, we gotta record that.
I'm cruising. I am.
we were talking
Yeah.
about Breaking Bad a few days ago, but so
Oh,
Bryan
yeah.
Cranston is the line here. Did you ever watch Malcolm in the Middle?
No, but
Okay.
I know that's where he's referenced.
There's an episode where he decides to become a professional speed walker. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Anyways,
It's funny.
so Adam Jones, ladies and gentlemen, amateur speed walker.
To put it in
soon to go pro.
perspective, I'm somewhere between I'm gonna butcher it now. What does he say? A rattlesnake and a mongoose or something? It's a Dwight reference.
I don't remember that.
They're just looking at me like I'm an idiot. So
Yeah,
that's
I've
fine.
never heard of that. But what's funny is I go to the gym 3 days a week. I don't do cardio. Maybe I'll do 10 minutes about
Oh, we just
once
put
or twice a week.
the muscle on.
Yeah, I only lift weights and then I leave.
Well, honestly,
Is that bad? Should I be focusing on cardio at all?
Depends on what you want.
you want to do a little bit
I
of that
walk
good
a few
cardio?
days a week though, so that could be my cardio, yeah? Or am I
You what?
supposed to also I walk like just around the block?
Walking is. I mean, yeah.
Well, when I say cardio, that's what I mean is I go get on the treadmill, and mainly the reason I get on the treadmill is because there's a big bank of TVs, and one of them is always playing Seinfeld at 7 a.m.
Oh.
So I get my weightlifting in super quick, and then get over there and watch some Seinfeld while I walk, and it's just good times. It's good
I
day.
just listen to podcasts, lift those weights, and then
I was
Go
gonna say, Rob, you're showing your age. You watch things on TV at the gym. Do you not have an iPhone and AirPods?
Well, sometimes I'm listening to a podcast while I'm watching Seinfeld, reading the captions.
multitasking at its
It's one of
finest.
those awesome things. But anyway, we super digress.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like for good reasons.
I know.
It's not like those were good stories.
It was the fitness.
I'm
org.
sorry. Do you guys want us to cut that?
Yeah,
Because we
let's just-
can't.
Oh my god,
Nah.
it's all
Wait,
live.
we can't go backwards. Sorry.
Do it live. So Pam then is in Mike's office and she's ready to get her performance review, but he needs her to review a voicemail from Jan. And we find out that Jan is coming to the office because she wants to give Michael his performance review. And we've got a clip coming up here, but Michael lets us know that this will be the first time seeing Jan since the incident at Chili's. And he gives us what I would say is like a stunningly accurate account of what happened. Let's check this out.
Well, it was really nothing. We just sort of got caught up in the moment. The vulnerable divorcee gives herself to the understanding with rugged good looks office manager. Just
And again, not a
she
bad kisser.
didn't want it to continue for some reason. We both didn't. I didn't want. We both didn't want it to continue. Was not professional. When people say something's mutual, it never is. But this was mutual.
I just noticed in that clip, Jan has a really large forehead.
Oh, really?
I never paid attention.
Yeah, I
Does
could
Jan
not get past it.
Jan's got one of them 5 heads?
I was serious. The next clip with her, you need to look at it.
Okay, I'll take a look. So Michael and Pam are still in his office. They're reviewing the call. And he keeps coming back to these two things. He keeps coming back to when she says, "Hey, Michael, I missed you." Or looks like I missed you. Which he's taking as sort of like, Michael, I miss you.
I miss you. Yes, he's fishing for it wherever he can find it.
And then she clearly says this will be like performance reviews will be our only topic of conversation.
Yeah.
And he's like, that doesn't mean anything, right? Those
Those
are
are
just
just
words.
words.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
just words. Just words.
Yeah.
Pam says she has an idea of what Jan might mean by this, but Michael's probably not going to like it. To which Michael's like, all right, well, now I'm in a bad mood. All right, let's go ahead and start your performance review. And you can just see Pam's face change. Like, she's so like, oh, wait a minute. And then she just turns it on.
She's like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm talking to Michael Scott.
Yeah, she turns on the charm and she's like, I mean, because Jan is conflicted. She's fighting feelings for you. And
Quick on our feet, that woman.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Love
Well,
it.
it's the same face that she gets when it's Halloween and he's got to fire somebody, and she's saying something, and then his mood changes, and she says, "Your costume is
Oh,
so, yeah.
yeah." She
Yeah.
just knows how to work Michael.
He's easy to read.
Indeed. Well, and it's awesome because then Michael is like, oh, but that's great. That's great news. What makes you
Yeah.
think I wouldn't have liked that? And he's like, you know what? Let's listen again.
Yeah,
He's gonna play
plays
it
it.
again. So then we go back out into the bullpen, and Dwight is sitting with Jim, and he is suggesting to Jim that when he goes in to have his performance review, that he mentions the double tabbed manila folders. that we should be
Yeah, am I the only one that gets confused about manila? I always want to say vanilla folders.
vanilla folders?
Because they're that color,
delicious.
right?
What?
No, they're like a
But,
weird
but what
it's
does manila
tan.
even mean?
Manila.
What does manila mean?
It's got to be.
Maybe
Is that
the
a word?
texture?
It's not the
Maybe
color,
it's the,
is it?
Yeah, I don't think it's the
Because
color.
growing
I
up,
think it's
I
the
used to
actual
think it
weight
was.
of it.
I thought it was vanilla because I'm like, oh, it's like a cream colored kind
That's
of.
so funny, but vanilla would be whitish.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah?
but that's what you would call white. So then I was like vanilla, you know. You What's
okay,
manila?
so I googled what does the manila in manila folder mean, and there may be people out there right now who are thinking like, that's so dumb. Of course it means this, but you're just
I don't know.
maybe some of us don't know, and
I
you're going to
thought
learn
it was
something
the
right now. So this is what it says. A manila folder is a file folder designed to contain documents, blah, blah, blah. In a more general sense, envelopes made of brown, unbleached paper used for cheapness are described as manila envelopes.
See, vanilla.
The manila component of the name comes from manila hemp or abaca, from which manila
Abaca.
folders were originally made. So there you go.
See.
So it has
So
to do
it's-
with the material that they were originally
Yeah,
made.
yeah. Okay, good. I was right. I win.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, Andy, yeah.
I
see,
win.
she
I win.
had
Somebody
that.
bring
She
me a
knew that.
cookie.
Well done. Well
Yeah.
done.
That should always be the reward for winning a cookie.
We could just have some cookies in the middle of the table.
Why don't we
Throw
have
them in, Joe.
cookies?
So
Okay, pause.
he tells them to mention that they should restock more of the double-tabbed manila folders in his review, and that Michael will be sure to give him a raise if he does that. Jim is too wise. He basically says, like, we don't carry those, and I actually wasn't going to ask for a pay raise. I was going to ask for a pay decrease.
Yeah.
To which Dwight just does not get the joke, and he's like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
That is so stupid.
Yeah, and he says it's a straight face too.
Yeah, and so it's at this point where Dwight basically says, like, you know what? I'm going to zone you out for the rest of the day. I don't have to see you tomorrow or Sunday. We'll try again and see how Monday goes. And you see this just light
switch.
yes, click for Jim where he's like,
Yeah.
he thinks that it's Friday and that tomorrow is Saturday. And it's in that moment that we have a wonderful prank that Jim...
It's born.
It's percolating.
Great.
It's percolating. So we have another clip coming up here. We cut over into the office where Stanley has started his performance review. And he probably had a conversation with Pam because he knows exactly what to do in this situation. Check it out.
Sometimes women say more in their pauses than they say in their words.
Really?
Oh, yes. Let's listen to it again. And this time, really listen to the pauses.
God, Stanley, that's freaking brilliant. How did you know that? Did you learn that on the streets? I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I did learn it on the streets. On the ghetto, in fact.
In the ghetto, in fact.
Kidding.
It's all about my bonus.
I love that Michael is like trying to be sensitive. He's like, did you learn that on the streets? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
And he's like, no, I did. On the ghetto.
On the ghetto.
That's what Stanley says.
And Stanley
I
is
love
the
it.
opposite of that.
How soft Michael is about it. I'm sorry. As
Yeah.
if, like, poor you had time on the streets.
Hey, Diversity Day is paying off right there. Good for Michael.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was something. That was a show of good
it. He
faith.
caught himself. So then, real quick in the break room, Jim and Pam have a little interaction where Jim kind of lets her in on the prank. Hey, Dwight thinks that it's Friday and we need to keep that going.
Yeah.
And she's like smiley. She's all about it. And then she heads into the ladies' room. And that's the end of the interaction. But what's interesting to me is this is sort of the first time that we're seeing them interact since the sort of like, hey, at least I didn't leave you at a hockey game.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
Yeah.
how the last
God,
episode ended. And
right.
so
Super awkward.
things seem to be, you know, back to normal, doing well. And so, yeah, just an interesting little interaction there. So then Stanley and Michael come walking out of his office. They've wrapped up a great review. Michael's just beaming about Stanley. Great job, Stanley. And then he says it's Angela's turn. And we get a little interview here where Angela says basically that being judged is like one of her favorite things. She is like all
She
about...
is so sure that she will always pass.
Yeah,
That
she's
she's
Yeah,
just
that's
always
true.
right.
She says, like, what does she say? Like, I feel like I stand up very well to the most intense scrutiny. Like, she just loves being judged. But as they're walking into Michael's office, the phone rings. Pam says, hey, Jan is on the line. And as Michael runs into his office and slams the door in Angela's face, he says, you did totally satisfactory work this year.
Yep.
So poor Angela doesn't get judged. So then in the office, Jan is returning one of Michael's many calls, she says, and Michael just says, "Hey, man, I need closure. After everything that happened at Chili's, I need closure." And Jan is saying, "No, we're not going to talk about it. I don't want you to forget all about it. You need to be professional."
Sure.
And he says, "Totally,
Never happened.
totally. By the way, I've been thinking about you."
He lasted 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, it did not take long. And then when she hears
That's what she said.
yeah, ooh, baby. And then when she hears that that there's cameras in the room, then she immediately hangs up. And as she does, Michael gives a little, "Oh, that's my girlfriend."
And they're not dating though.
No.
But yeah,
They're seeing exclusively other people.
You want to see other people? Oh, you want to see only other people? So then we cut over to accounting, and Kevin and Oscar are comparing office gossip. It's basically they made out and had sex versus they only made out. They're going back and forth. And Angela's shutting that talk down. She's like, "Hey, you shouldn't be talking about it. Office romances, plural, are nobody's business except those involved." To which Kevin slyly looks at the camera and says, "Romances? Is this a foreshadow to some sort of interesting
Oh yeah.
office
What
romance?"
if what if there's already something going on and we don't even
Oh,
know
there's
it
something
yet?
going
I don't
on.
really know why I'm talking this high, but I am. It implicates that there's
I'm
something going
lower
on.
than you
This
right
is my
now.
Angela voice.
So then Michael is at Pam's desk, and he's just saying, "You know, Pam, I feel like I get ideas on a daily basis, and I feel like I tell people about them. Is there any way that maybe you wrote some of those down, maybe put them in a folder, like an idea folder?" Obviously, the answer was no to that.
To which I would write a ton of crap down really quick. Yes, let me go get that. Write a bunch of ideas, put it in a folder, and take it to
Andy would do that.
Okay, but how awesome would it be if she actually was like, "Oh, of course, Michael," and pulls out this like awesome idea folder
like
that's
she
like,
already had it created.
"Oh my gosh."
Yeah, I wouldn't be that quick, but I would say, "Ooh, I'm gonna write some ideas down."
See, I don't think I'm that quick on my feet. You would. I think you could do that.
Oh, I would.
Yeah.
I would do that 100%. I would get a folder, write a bunch of ideas down, put it in, and then hand it over. I've been keeping track of these for the last year.
Absolutely. Pam, take a note. Garbage cans as cowboy boots. I don't know what that means.
Right. Wear your Levi's to work every day.
Yes. Oh, baby. Lift weights in your
Thunderwears.
Levi's. Thunderwears? What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not want me to tell people?
You know what? That'll be a Patreon exclusive. Let's leave it at that. Hashtag Thunderwears. Anyways, so then Michael's like, "Well, what about the suggestion box? Like, do you remember that suggestion box?"
Oh, yeah.
Pam remembers it from like way back in the day, but basically Michael says, "Hey, we're going to have a suggestion box meeting. I value, your guys' input." And he says, "Get ready to have your constructive compliments submitted." Mm-hmm. So it's obvious what he's looking for there. So there you go.
Yeah.
So they're going to have a suggestion box meeting. That's going to be great. So then Jim keeps this Friday grift going, okay, by calling. He's sitting at his desk, and he's making a call to Dan, in quotations, to make lunch plans tomorrow, which is Saturday.
Yes.
So he's like, "Hey, Dan, I just want to make sure you're still available for lunch, tomorrow, which is..." And then Dwight is like, "Saturday." And Jim's like, "Excellent.
I
Sweet."
just wondered when I watched this, like, is he going to overplay it so much that
Sure.
you, like, spill the beans?
He probably pushed it a little bit to the line, but he kept it just subtle enough,
Apparently.
where Dwight is...
I feel like that can't happen. Maybe it's just me. I don't think that could ever happen to me because everything I look at has what day of the week it is. My watch,
Oh, sure.
my phone, laptop.
Yeah,
all
that was another day.
It's a different
It was.
time.
10 years ago. A
Oh, it was
lot
more.
has changed in 10 years.
I think it was 2005 or 2006.
Wow.
So then...
Wait a minute. It's almost 15 years old.
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
coming
that.
on the... Yeah.
Wow. What are we going to do on the 15-year anniversary? We got to do it up, guys. Inflatables.
Do it up.
Oh, my gosh.
We could, yeah. Staff day with inflatables. Like Toby's going away party.
Yeah. Maybe fireworks.
What? Don't worry, I'll bleep that out. That'll be
Bleep.
So then Jan actually arrives in the office, and everybody is sort of on pins and needles. When she walks in, they're understanding that this is the first physical interaction between Michael and Jan since whatever happened at Chili's.
Yeah.
The consensus has not been reached yet. Was it makeout? Was it makeout and sex? Was it an awesome blossom, extra awesome, if you know what
knows?
I mean. They're,
Bow, chicken, wow, wow.
I mean, that makes
Yeah,
it a little bit more
that
clear,
would
but
be
yeah.
extra awesome.
So then, so they're just like waiting to see what happened. Michael tries to hug her, then tries to kiss her hand, then he tries to touch
gosh.
her shoulder, which
Oh, please
just
stop.
she's like a kung fu master. Like everything,
Yeah.
she's just like blocking and like just not letting it happen.
She knows Michael.
And then they awkwardly head into his office, and Kevin is like the master of like really creepy looks in this episode. There's just
In
multiple.
this episode, the whole series, this is Kevin.
Touche. So, there you go. So then in the office, Jan wants to make it clear, look, we're just going to talk business. And Michael is incredibly confused. He gets kind of frustrated here because he's like, the last time that we kissed and everything that went down, the entire time we had been talking business. That's what led to it. But we're just going to talk business, but this time there is no makeouts. Dang it.
The mind of Michael's is a tough one to follow.
So he lets her know that he's not wham bam, thank you ma'am. Well, he is thank you ma'am. There's nothing wrong with wham bam as long as it's consensual, he says.
Yeah, right. Which, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And it never hurts for a thank you ma'am.
that's right.
Yeah.
Never hurts.
Never hurts.
Nope.
So just, digging the hole deeper. And then he says, okay, fine. I do have a business question. He wants to know if she's wearing a new perfume because it's
Very
incredibly
professional.
sexy. To which she
Yeah.
basically replies, Michael, please don't smell me.
Michael, please don't smell me.
So
Yeah, I don't want my coworkers smelling me either.
Believe me, your coworkers do not want to smell you.
yeah.
I smell pretty bad.
Yeah. If you're wearing that perfume, just don't.
I actually ran out of a cologne the other day that I've had for like 4 years. So
Do you wear
no,
cologne?
Not usually. Mm.
And
Special
I'm-
occasions.
So I'm gathering you're not a perfume man. You said just don't
Me?
wear perfume. Yeah.
No.
You don't like perfume?
Even just a
I
little
mean,
spritz.
I don't. It's not that I don't like it. Where I'm like, oh gosh, you're wearing perfume. Like, oh geez. No, but it's like,
I want to know what expression he was going to use there.
just when, like, when somebody just like slathers it on, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I
Sure.
get that, but like,
That's like an old lady thing.
yeah, it's an old lady thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like perfume. I like when my wife says, I want to go pick out new perfume. I'm like, I'm coming with.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I want some for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah. For me.
I guess I'm not like against it, but I'm just like, I don't want it to sting the nostrils, if you know what I mean. So, so then the suggestion box meeting is full go. It's going to happen. And Jan is like, yes, I want to be a part of this. I want to hear how it's going. And as everybody's heading in, Jim and Pam just keep the heist going by Pam basically walking up and being like, hey, did you watch The Apprentice last night? Oh, of course I did. It was Thursday.
Oh gosh.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, that's another moment where I'm
Yeah.
like,
Exactly. And so, and they kind of bring Dwight into it, and Dwight is like, oh man, I can't believe I missed it. And he had went out to get drunk with his laser tag buddies.
Yeah.
And so you never do that on an Apprentice night. Apparently.
See, I'm just saying that he's towing real close to that line. Because he
Yes.
could have thought, wait a second, I never go out with my buddies on this night.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was dangerous, but it worked.
It worked.
It paid off. Oh, baby, did it pay off.
He was just dancing on the line.
That's right. So then Pam lets Michael know, hey, everybody's ready. Let's do this. And so they head into the conference room for the suggestion box meeting.
Ooh.
Where all the good stuff happens in the conference room. So Michael is sitting there with the suggestion box. He lets everybody know, like, hey, I believe in your guys' opinions. Like, I'm glad to go through these on a regular basis. Daily, I think is even what he says. And they go into the box, the very first one. What should we do to prepare for Y2K?
Yeah. Which I just heard the other day that somebody that works at one of our other branches actually prepared for Y2K.
No.
Really?
And like bought
Please tell me
$1,000
at
worth of
least the
food.
initials. Who are they?
MB. Not my wife.
Oh. Oh.
How old was my wife at Y2K? 7 years old.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
No, somebody's-
That is funny.
Yeah, like
Were you, I mean, okay, so how old were you for Y2K?
oh boy, 8.
Was it even on your radar? Like, was there like...
I remember the like New Year's Eve for it, but my parents like didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't buy in.
No. I mean, they maybe I think that most of them might have thought something might have happened for a day,
Uh-huh.
like when things got figured out. But
Yeah.
like we didn't stock up or anything.
So I think I was 16 for Y2K.
Oh, so you were okay. So you had a mind.
Yeah, I think I was a junior.
Wait, that's how big. Never mind. What?
Oh my gosh.
All I heard was that's how big.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what she said.
Took her breath away.
Oh, yikes.
So I was like a sophomore. I think it was a sophomore or junior, something like that. And yeah, I think there was like this legitimate like concern that like the ball, like you were watching like the New Year's Eve ball, and it was gonna be like 3,
And then it
2,
explode.
1.
What did you think?
and
at
everything-
16?
I think I kind of imagined that too.
You kinda
I
held-
wasn't 16. I was younger than that, but I imagined.
I seriously
that.
don't. I mean, think about it. So I'm 8. I have barely any recollection, so I didn't have anything.
Yeah,
to think
I'm
of it.
sure you didn't even really know that there was a ball that would drop.
Well, what was? Oh my
That was not meant to be anything other than.
I'm sure you didn't even know what was.
We had
to
a clean
come.
rating for 13 episodes, and then she had to use the ball drop.
That's funny.
I think it was like
Because I was innocent.
like the countdown was going, and you kind of held your breath as it got to 0 because you're
Yeah.
like, is everything going to
You're
turn
like,
off?
am I
Like,
gonna die?
Can you just describe for me Rob Lambert at 16?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
were you eating popcorn?
I think he was
Were you
still in
like,
fanny packs and fedoras.
Oh yeah,
that was one time.
I think that
in
one time might have been
7th
in
grade.
and the
at age
Boba
16.
Fett.
Yeah, it was a Boba Fett shirt.
Boba Fett shirt.
In Alcatraz.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh!
it was
Can
good.
you seriously find that?
No.
Oh, I would love to. Happy to.
Yeah, we'll
I'll
see
call
that.
his mom tomorrow.
We'll see that.
Don't worry about that. I got it.
Dig. But then you realize that like
Wait, hold on. I really do want to hear 16-year-old Rob because I didn't know him.
Yes, please describe him.
I mean, I
Ladies'
was
man?
no.
No.
No, I think at that point, 16-year-old Rob had heard Rob. I think of you as a brother, like so many times. Like I was
Why
everybody's
a
brother.
You were a
Not
brother
even
to
a friend?
everybody.
Yeah, just a
Like
brother.
your closest family?
I mean, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got that a lot too. Man.
Because if you
Brother,
because
though.
no
Why brother?
because if you're a good friend, that can be the foundation that blossoms into a fruitful relationship. If I think of you like a brother,
That's
it's
like
like-
the line.
that's a
Is that
nice
why,
way.
Adam? You think so?
that I would what?
Oh,
That's a nice way of saying like my face is never gonna touch your face because I think of
Oh.
you as like a family member.
No, I got that so.
but do you
much.
think so? Why do you think brother and not friend? Because friend could still turn.
Why do
into
I
a
think that? I
boyfriend?
didn't think that. Somebody else thought
No,
that.
no. But I mean, why would a girl use brother?
Why did we get that so much, Adam?
Because
Jones?
I was
Instead of
so
friend.
nice and so like, oh no, now I'm gonna sound like a victim. No, I just was like, like somebody you hang out with, you know, like, oh, like that's my brother. I think he's fun.
It just means I don't think you're hot.
yeah, it
Okay.
means like I enjoy hanging out with you, but you're not. But I can't think of you like that.
Yeah.
Like we're
Yeah, that's what
never
it means.
gonna get there.
Exactly.
Like friendship
How
still
many-
has a glimmer of hope for that.
Rob's
and I
throwing
want
up his
you to
hands
know,
in anger
done.
and hitting the
That's
mic.
right. I hit my microphone. I apologize.
Andy, how many people did you say I think of you like a brother? Were you?
Oh, never.
were you a-
I've never used the brother line. That blows my mind. But here's the truth: I don't have a brother, so maybe I don't
Oh my
understand
gosh.
that relationship.
You could just say to somebody, I think of you like a brother, but also I don't know what that means because I don't have a brother.
I'm just really
Yeah.
confused.
I'm
right
just really
now.
confused about
I
our
shouldn't be in a
relationship.
relationship.
I use the friend
That's
line.
good. That's a good one.
I used the friend line a little bit, like once or twice, but I was the girl that was popular because I was a cheerleader and super nice and had a lot of, I was in a lot of circles, did a lot of things. But because I was so nice, I genuinely had a lot of friends. Like, I had a lot of friends that were guys.
She was one of
and
those.
Her
there
gift was her curse.
Yep.
No, there was a couple of guys that I do wonder, and I do probably know that they did like me. They used to walk me home from school. They used to walk me to my car.
Oh, geez.
They would like hang out all the time. They'd ask me how I am, but they never actually got to the point where they asked me out. So I don't know if they just knew I'd say
Oh.
no,
Chumps.
or
Yeah, chumps.
or if they just
Couldn't seal the deal.
I don't know. But I did have a couple of guys that hang around like that. Every season, I had one or two guys where I'm like, I know you like me.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Just
no if
say
you ask me
something.
out. but
I had
you
so
never
many
asked me out.
friends and so many guys who liked me. It was just.
Oh gosh, no! It wasn't
Yeah.
like that.
Me
I'm
and
just saying
Rob
I
are
never had to shut
Sitting
people
in
down.
the corner by ourselves.
Playing Dungeons and Dragons.
I didn't do that. But
No,
dang
I
it,
was
Adam
no,
Jones.
I was nice. I was friends with everybody. There wouldn't be a guy where I'm like, oh, you play Dungeons and Dragons. We're not friends. I would be your friend.
You would play Dungeons and Dragons.
No.
There
I
you
would
go.
tease
There it
you.
is.
No,
She's
I'd
I'd
be
be your
too
friend.
cool for that.
There you go.
No,
I
no,
would
no,
tease
no.
him. I would be your friend, but I would tease you.
Oh
about it.
yeah, I'd make fun of you
She
real
was
good.
too busy being a cheerleader. You know what I mean?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
No, please explain, Adam.
I just mean
Rah rah
Like-
sis boom ba.
like what?
Rah rah sis boom ba.
Don't know what that
No,
is.
it's
Like
Chinese.
rah rah,
Rah rah.
sis boomba. You never heard that?
You can't see it.
Yeah,
but
we're shaking.
moving our
We're
arms.
shaking our
Their fists in
proverbial
the air.
pom poms.
They're assuming that cheerleaders just walk around with their fists in the air and
If you
shaking
know
it.
what I mean.
Andy just walks into high school like that.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
So anyway, Y2K.
Yeah.
We thought everybody's going to die. Okay, so then the next suggestion is better outreach for employees fighting depression, and that was from Tom, who we find out worked in accounting a while ago, and Phyllis is like Tom, and then she makes like a gun. Oh
This
man.
is such a funny part, and it's funny again because in 2019, not allowed on TV.
No. Because Michael's response is, "Oh, that guy, he was a weirdo."
I mean, it's so funny, and it's still funny to today because of how inappropriate this conversation is about somebody
Yeah.
who's reaching out for help. I don't know why I'm laughing, but
Man,
yeah.
it's just the once again just Michael Scott being completely oblivious. So we have a clip here because it's suggestion number 3 that I think is very close to my heart and really takes the cake. Check this out.
You need to do something about your BO.
You need to do something about your BO.
Now, I don't know who this suggestion is meant for, but it's more of a personal suggestion. And it's not an office suggestion. Far be it from me to use this as a platform to
good for
embarrass
him.
anybody.
Aren't the suggestions meant for you?
Yes, Toby.
Well,
Good
Thanks,
point.
Toby.
If by me you are inferring that I have BO, then I would say that that is a very poor choice of words.
Toby's all smug.
He was implying. You were inferring.
Was I, Creed?
Good old
Okay,
Creed.
well, you know what I am implying is that when we're on an elevator together, I should maybe take the stairs. Because talk about stank. Not that I would ever say something like that in public, and I never have, and I never will. I just think it's something that we should all be aware of. Okay? Now that we've learned this, let's
He gets all
continue.
teary.
Oh my God.
What I
Both of their faces are hilarious in this exchange.
Is
Yeah. And what I love about Creed is in almost any episode where he has lines, it's only like 2 or 3. He does not
Yes.
have a ton of lines, but they're always the best
They're
ones.
well chosen lines. And it's so funny is I used to watch the show back years ago, and I always used to think Creed was just like this guy, this friend that I had, his dad.
oh no.
And we used to joke about it all the time because he used to say the same thing. We'd be like, "Yeah, your dad's kind of like Creed, huh?" Because he used to say really random things that were like shocking.
Yeah.
And anyways,
that's
but I
awesome.
just thought like this is my friend's dad, is Creed.
Oh my gosh. It's I do want us to really try to pinpoint where that turn is for Creed, where he's, because once again here he seems of sound mind, okay, and there will come a point where he kind of makes a little bit of a shift, and so I just kind of hope it's next episode, because I hope that elevator comment is just the thing that broke him. like Michael just, in that moment, the suggestion box meeting is the thing that just put him over the edge.
Yep.
And you know what? I could really relate to this suggestion because earlier today, my 3-year-old daughter, we had just got back from a walk, and I don't think I smelled. I don't think I looked disheveled, but my 3-year-old is like, "Hey, Dad, I think you look like you need to take a shower. You should go take a shower." And I'm like,
It's her brain trying to work out. How do I say something hard to my dad?
Yeah.
He smells.
"Bless your
Let me
heart."
try it this way.
Kids say the funniest things.
Oh my gosh. So then there's a few more suggestions. Michael needs to do something about his coffee breath.
Yeah.
One of them is just a piece of paper with a piece of gum stuck in it.
Where do I put this? I know.
And then he pulls one out and he reads it and he's like, "Oh wait, that one's blank."
Yeah.
And then Dwight grabs it and reads that it says, "How about if you don't sleep with your boss?"
Got 'em.
Ooh. I mean, how
Got
about
'em.
that's none of your business? I can sleep with whoever I want.
Yeah, none of you
dang.
beeswax.
None.
So then we cut over to the stairwell, and it's obvious that Dwight has not had his performance review yet, but he is getting so psyched. He is getting himself ready, just why he deserves a raise, all that good stuff.
I need to do that more.
Just playing the heavy metal and just punching the air, and just, it's so good. And then Michael and Jan are having a meeting, and Dwight bursts in, and he's ready to do his review. And Michael basically tells him, like, "Hey, you've done adequate work. You can get out of here." But Dwight has prepared a presentation on his dedication. And we have a clip here. He's going to sell to Michael why exactly it is that he deserves to get a raise.
Let me bring up one word. Dedication.
Oh, man.
I have
At our next
never
review, one of us has to
been
do
late.
this.
Also,
Never late.
I have never missed a day due to illness, even when I had walking pneumonia.
Okay, that's dangerous.
I even come in on holidays.
You do? How do you get in?
I have a copy of your key.
That's a serious offense.
That is a serious offense. Very serious. As is toying with a man's heart.
Oh, man.
I'd also further like to talk about my merits in the workplace.
Okay, third wheel, why don't you do that?
For instance, the time I brought in deer jerky for the whole office.
That was deer? Gross. Oh, my God, did not.
Jan, have you ever had deer?
No.
It's a delicacy. And you know what? It's an aphrodisiac.
Oh, baby.
So when we're done here, you guys could go over to the Antler Lodge, sample some deer, and talk about my raise.
Michael,
Sounds great.
Sure.
Say, Jan.
What do you say, Jen?
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna step outside, collect my thoughts, and I will return in about 10 minutes.
Okay, you just clear your head.
Okay, I will say a couple of things. Number one, you were so right. Jan has a huge forehead.
She really does.
Now you see it, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I've noticed that
I had
before.
forgotten about that.
Have you ever eaten deer?
Yes.
Is
Really?
it?
Why?
In Wisconsin, everybody but me goes deer hunting.
Ah.
Even your mom?
No, not my mom. Actually, nobody in my immediate family,
So everybody
but the Joneses.
except your family. Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I have friends growing up who would like, oh, I remember my really good friend back in high school would be like, oh, come over, we're gonna you want to learn how I forget what they call it. He had the deer hanging up in his garage and you get it ready to be processed.
Yeah.
So you
Butchering it?
Yeah.
so you
like, oh,
skin
gosh,
it back,
no.
and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and you peel off everything.
No. Oh, wow.
Just hanging in
Never
his
use
garage.
Yeah, just
peel
hang it up.
when it
Oh,
comes to animal
baby.
skin.
Okay.
Yeah, so everybody in Wisconsin does that but me. That's all we got: deer and beer and cheese.
Deer, beer, and cheese.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Sounds
baby.
like a good time.
Have you ever eaten deer, Andy?
I don't think so. If so, I didn't know it.
It's good.
It's good.
It's an aphrodisiac.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Hey, you want to eat some deer later?
Yeah. Are you inviting me to go eat deer with you, Adam Jones?
No, I
Oh,
was just
wow.
saying- no, I was saying you
Again,
could say-
another
No,
moment where I feel like I need to leave you guys alone. Isn't
No, it's like-
oysters the same thing?
It
All
is.
the
I was setting
gross
you
foods?
up.
I was going to say, it is Pride Month, so take it easy over there.
Oh,
so then we go back into the office, and Dwight is wrapping up his presentation, and I love that he's wrapping it up by one quoting a supervillain, Lex Luthor, and he's also holding a trophy, and we don't get any sort of explanation as to why, but I can only assume that he won some weird farmers market or weird country competition,
Yeah.
and decided to bring that in as one more reason why he should get a raise.
Yeah.
So then Jan is leaving and Michael is chasing her to the elevator. He's just saying, look, I need closure. And Jan gets a little hardcore. She says, it's not your looks, it's your personality. And then she runs him down. He's inconsiderate. She says that he is stupid.
Oh, my daughter called somebody stupid today.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And
Uncle
she
Scott
also said
moves.
somebody had BO, so she needs to take it easy.
Oh.
You need to take a shower.
Yeah, that's right. She says that he actually does have coffee breath. And
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I don't feel like coffee breath is that big of a is that bad, right?
Yeah, I
You know
don't
what my
think
wife
so.
says is bad? For sometimes my job, I have to do public speaking.
Uh-huh.
And when I do it over long periods of time, apparently I get really bad breath because your
Oh.
mouth dries out.
Yeah. You and me both, Adam Jones.
You and me both.
Yeah.
If I had a dime for every single time that my wife offered me a stick of gum,
Oh yeah, my wife
Guys,
does
he
that too.
needs it. My goodness.
but so Jan really runs him down, and then she basically just says that he's a nice guy, but she's just not in a place for a relationship. And then Michael is just it's almost like he didn't hear any of it. He just heard at the very beginning when she said it's not about your looks.
Yes.
And so he's just super happy that it really has nothing to do with his looks.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
he's very
stupid, I
satisfied.
smell,
yeah,
and all these other things, but man, I look good.
That's right. And so we have this clip here where Michael basically takes this conversation and then just re-sums it up for us, and you can tell that he totally has a grasp on the situation. Here you go.
Jan is not in a place where she feels she can have a relationship right now. And it doesn't matter how great a guy I am. And that is all I needed. I'm good. I can go home now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how
I
good
mean,
you are.
Michael Scott is just thinking, at least, maybe he's thinking I can work on the other things, but my looks, I can't change that much.
And I got it in the bag.
I got it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good.
It's a win.
Sure.
Yeah.
Feeling fine. So then, as as the show wraps up, the final scene we get here is it's the next day, which is actually Friday.
Yeah.
It's like 12:20 in the afternoon, and Dwight is not at his desk. The phone is ringing. Jim and Pam are working. Michael walks out and is like, "It's 12 in the afternoon. Where the heck is Dwight?" Jim's like, "I don't know." And then Michael just makes a nice little snide comment, and then that's the end of it. Until we hear some tires screeching, and then we get a view out the window of the most like disheveled Dwight ever running from his car.
I'd love to know what tipped him off.
Just yelling, "I'm here! I'm here!"
Yeah, what did tip him off? That's a good question. He's probably out on his beet farm, doing stuff, and then all of a sudden he realizes it.
It's like he probably went to like milk a goat and was like, wait a minute. I milked the goat yesterday.
Ooh.
I only milked the goat on Wednesday.
I think a goat has to be milked every day, though.
You know more about that than I do, Adam Jones.
Wisconsin.
So, so then that wraps up Season 2, Episode 8, the performance review.
Good game, team.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this brings us to the point in the episode where we like to take a look at a prank that Jim pulled. And this week, a good one, I think.
It's a good one.
It is definitely a good one. But before we do that, just to give you guys a really quick update on the leaderboard, let's take a look. In third place, with 21 out of 30, 21 Shroot Bucks, Season 2, Episode 2, Sexual Harassment, Jim is satisfied and smiling. With what?
That was a laugh. That was a...
Oh, okay. With 23 Shroot Bucks in second place is Season 2, Episode 5, Halloween, where Jim and Pam post Dwight's resume. And then in first place, 26 points, Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom.
Sweet.
So there you go. So now the question is, Jim convincing Dwight
6
that... Oh my gosh.
Adam always goes first, and then I feel like I'm copying him when we
say
choose the same number.
So Jim convinces Dwight that it's Friday. He stumbles upon it. It's not preemptive.
Yeah.
He stumbles upon it, but when he does, he walks that fine line and totally convinces Dwight that it's Friday, and he misses it. What do you think?
Yeah, so I was gonna say 5.
Okay.
Mostly because he stumbled upon it. And all he had to do was just kind of
go with it.
Kind of go with it and prod a little bit. So I'm saying 5.
Okay.
Not bad. Not good.
Okay. Andy, what say you?
I said 6.
Okay.
I think the same thing. He didn't plan ahead. He didn't really have to have too much forethought. But when it happened, he was quick.
Yes.
So he responded quickly. He made a plan and ended up being pretty stinking funny. So... But it's not as big as the other ones, the desk, and how much time that took and forethought. That's pretty impressive. But this one was good.
Totally.
Are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna give it. You know what? I'm gonna go a 5.5.
Oh,
He's
okay.
always tough.
So I'm gonna give it a 6.
Oh, he went between us.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5. That makes it a 16.5 overall. So it's not gonna make it in the top 3. I think it was good. I think it didn't take a lot of preemptive forethought, but it was just, man, when he stumbled upon it, he walked that fine line, and I thought he did a pretty good job.
I almost did a 5.5, but then I didn't want to be lame.
No, there's nothing wrong with doing the 0.5. So you got to be able to do that sometimes. So
what if one day I just do a 5.75?
Okay, now you're just getting ridiculous.
Or 4.3. What is pi? 4 point something.
3.14.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, out of anybody at the table, Adam would know it. I do
know.
know.
Pi. When was the last time you used pi in real life?
I don't know. I still don't completely understand what that is.
Awesome. Hey, let's move on to that good Dunder Mifflin subreddit where Adam Jones is always bringing us some quality content, and as
I love
always,
that you guys felt the need to save me. You're like, and we're moving on. Hopefully nobody got that.
No pie for you. And as always, you can check out in the show notes a link to the Dundie Winner and see exactly.
Dundies sounds like undies.
It does.
Undies.
The Thundies. And you can see exactly what we're getting ready to talk about. So in the show notes, scroll down, you'll see a link that says Dundie Winner. Click on that, and You'll see what Adam Jones is about to present to us.
Dundie Winner.
Here we go.
Anyways, so I love the Dunder Mifflin subreddit, and the best thing is when I find content that I love that it seems like it's not hasn't been found yet.
Okay.
And I love that the community also right now, I don't know if you can see it, you can't really. Michael Scott is the upvote and Toby is the downvote.
Oh, that's funny.
That's so good.
So what we've got on this is a picture of what you might have seen trying to, like, I guess actually Nick would know what this looks like. It's kind of like trying to help people to use better language, like on campus, because he's at the university and stuff.
Okay, it's like an SJW, like, try not to trigger somebody.
Yeah,
sort
don't
of thing?
trigger somebody, don't use microaggressions and stuff.
There you go. Okay, great.
And the title is Stop Using Anti-Scranton Language. And so instead of really quickly, you should say ASAP as possible.
ASAP as possible.
Which I say a lot in our current office. You hear me say it.
Yes, he really does.
The second one is...
He'll just be walking by, too. I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about. And he'll just walk by and be like, ASAP as possible.
It's like, get me to that right now. ASAP as possible.
Oh, my gosh.
This next one, the next one down on the same post is instead of designed for comfort, say ergonomically correct.
Ergonomically.
And instead of don't mess with me, say I'm not to be truffled with.
Honestly, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, baby.
Instead of saying he was beheaded,
because
say,
that comes up in regular conversation.
In Game of Thrones, maybe.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Say his kappa was detated from his head.
Oh gosh.
And instead of superstitious, say I'm a little stitious.
A little stitious.
So for those listeners that have watched the season, all the seasons, these are lines from different spots.
Indeed.
This is great. I actually would love to get a high res and print this.
Yeah, his kappa was detated from his head.
That's a good one.
So good. So user, what is that? Cadierf?
Cadierf.
Yeah, they're gonna get a
only has
Dundie.
57.
They're gonna get
upvotes.
it only has 57 upvotes, so we found this baby early, and this is your chance to make it go hot like fire. So make sure you click that link, and they're gonna get a Dundie for the most sensitive post, sensitive to the.
And the comments are great on it.
What do we got here on the comments?
The comments one is instead of protuberance, say.
Protuberance?
Yeah, protuberance, I think is what it says. And then the next comment is instead of how the tables have turned, say how the turntables.
How the turntables. Oh, that's so good. Awesome. So yeah, as always, make sure you check out the Dunder Mifflin subreddit. Some good quality content, great community over there. It's good stuff. So that brings us to the end of the show, folks. Once again, thank you so much for listening. Make sure, as I said earlier, make sure you subscribe and leave us a rating on iTunes. That 5-star gets you a shout out on the show every single time. Tell a friend, and make sure you check us out on Patreon. We're going to head over to that after party at Poor Richard's, and we're going to let you in on the heist of the century, really. You get to be a part of it, but...
I'm pretty excited about it.
Once you're in, you're in. Blood in, blood out, as they say in Scranton, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. And hey, your homework for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, just take Friday off. Just do it.
Yeah.
Just claim a Dwight. Just be like, I thought yesterday was Friday. Why,
That's right.
Why would you want me to come in twice?
Just take Friday off.
Fridays.
And while you're taking Friday off, go ahead and watch Season 2, Episode 9, Email Surveillance. And we'll get back at you.
I still get paranoid that could happen in a company. I've actually ran the admin behind our company email, and so I know that it's impossible.
That somebody's reading all of your high
but I still
secrets.
forget every once in a while.
Your highly classified secret emails.
Who's gonna read this?
Although Andy just figured out an iMessage, now you can send invisible ink messages.
Oh.
No, I knew that. I just never use it.
I think
so
I
this
showed that to
time,
you.
What is anybody who taps on it can see what it is.
I'll
right?
tell you what it's for.
Oh yeah, Adam knows.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's just Dwight in a box.
Just in case, somebody's looking over my wife's shoulder as she's reading her text messages. She knows when it's invisible ink.
It says,
she knows.
Girl, you're like butter.
When you're sending
Girl,
her,
these cheeks are gonna clap tonight.
when you're sending her a text that's ergonomically correct.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, all right.
Shake it.
Let's head over to that after party at Poor Richard. So until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Andy.
And this was Everybody in the Conference
Room.
Room. Have a great night.